To be honest, I really should have invested in the Batman and Superman shirt, or like where they're on the t-shirt together rather than just wearing a Batman shirt for this review. I mean, yeah. Hello, you beautiful and wonderful people. It's almost been over 2 weeks now since I've done a review. I'm sorry about this hiatus. I've definitely procrastinated doing this review as it is such a big movie to talk about and I have lots to say about it. And overall, I've kind of missed doing reviews, but I mean, I was definitely really putting off filming this, and yeah, I'm behind with a lot of my movies. There's films I have to review that I've seen like 2 weeks, almost 3 weeks ago, which is just crazy, and I really need to get them done. So expect a onslaught of a lot of reviews coming out in the next couple of days, just because I need to pump these out before I like forget about it, basically. And yeah, okay, so let's get on with this Batman v Superman movie. Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. This movie is the follow-up to 2012's Man of Steel, which saw a mixture of reviews. Lots of people were very divided with this movie, and I found myself in the middle. I didn't think it was bad, nor did I think it was anything amazing. However, it definitely kept me interested in what the DC Cinematic Universe has to offer. And so with Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice, all this hype was built up around it, as this was basically the kickstart for all these other DC movies that are come out that feature these heroes that will all someday team up in this Justice League movie, and that got people very, very excited. And me myself, I was very hesitant going into it. Well, not really hesitant, I just didn't really expect much. I wasn't all that hyped for it, even though this movie took like 3 years in the making and was talked about for like 20 or so years. So does Batman v Superman pay off and make up for all the terrible rumors and trailers that were released? Well, yes and no. Once again, I find myself very much in the middle ground, except this time I see myself leaning more towards the negative sides of things than the good. So I'm going to talk about the positive things I found that I liked about the movie before I delve into the problems that I had with it, because believe me, there are lots of problems that I have with it. First off, as you guys already probably know, Ben Affleck was amazing as Batman. I didn't really have a bone to pick when the announcement for the casting was released. I just thought it was okay and we'll see what happens, but man, did he ever blow me away. I mean, he played the perfect Bruce Wayne and Batman. He was a very intriguing a very intriguing Bruce Wayne, and he was such a brooding and badass Batman. Of course, there were some problems that people had with the actual Batman, which we'll get to in the spoilers section. I just felt like he was the best and most interesting on-screen portrayal of Batman that we have seen ever, and really, that is just amazing. As well as Jeremy Irons as Alfred, I thought wasn't anything special, but he was good, and there's really nothing to complain about him. And another thing that I enjoyed was Zack Snyder proves once again that he knows how to direct action scenes. Some of the shots in this movie felt like a panel taken right out of the comic, and it was amazing. I just wish that the movie was just as solid as the action scenes were. The rest of the movie was just as solid as the action scenes were. Okay, so I'll try and talk about the problems that I have with this movie and try not to get into the spoilers. I'll save that for the segment after I give my rating, so just be warned, I'll try my best right now. So, this movie is loaded, just riddled with story problems I have with it. First off, like the first half of this movie felt very choppy. Each scene was kind of chugging along and there was no real transition. This movie also introduces this political thriller story arc at the beginning, but it never really feels fully wrapped up after a incident goes down. And I felt like the reason for Batman and Superman to clash was not all that strong. Batman, I totally understood, as he saw the destruction that Zod and Superman caused during their fight, and he was not happy about it. I totally got his motivation to not like Superman. Well, Superman, I felt like he hated Superman just for the sake of the script, and that is this movie in a nutshell. Shit just happens without any explanation, and yeah, it just felt like the writers were flying by the seat of their pants. You know that feeling you get when you're writing something in class, whether it be like a social essay or English essay, you're just sitting there and you know that man, this is not going as well as I thought it was going to. However, I only got 20 minutes, so I can't really redo anything. I'm just gonna have to go with it, half-ass this stupid essay, and hope for the best. That's what it felt like the writers were doing. They were just really half-assing their job and throwing things in there, hoping that it would please the fans, and it kind of made me angry. Now, the rating I'm gonna give this movie right now may seem very low. However, if you've not seen Batman v Superman... Oh, sorry, Now, the rating I'm about to give this movie may seem very low. However, if you've seen Batman v Superman, you may be a little bit more understanding. So if you haven't seen this movie, I would recommend coming back after you've seen it and watching the spoiler section, as I'll give a more in-depth explanation for my frustration I had with this movie. With that being said, Batman v Superman gets a 4 out of 10. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about some spoilers, and if you have not seen Batman v Superman, I wouldn't really recommend watching the rest of this video if you do not want to be spoiled. However, I don't really recommend the movie, so it's really just up to you. Okay, so hopefully anybody that has not seen Batman v Superman and does not want to be spoiled clicked out of this video. And so I'm going to get really spoiler heavy. So, before the last 30 to 40 minutes of this movie, I actually found myself thinking that, this is definitely not as bad as the critics were saying it was. So it's probably going to fall around the 6.5 out of 10 range. It's pleasing and I didn't mind it, but I did have a lot of problems with it. But when they introduced Doomsday, which obviously I knew it was going to happen just from that second trailer, it really frustrated me. Especially what they did with Superman. I mean, Doomsday in general, I don't know if I said this, but I don't read DC Comics. I'm more of a Marvel fanboy, I guess you could say. That doesn't mean that I'm going to slander a DC movie and praise a Marvel movie. I'll tell you how it is, obviously, but I can't tell you if Doomsday looked good or not on screen, but I felt like I knew what the villain was and the arc of Superman when Doomsday comes about. And, oh man, I was really frustrated with that. It's like, why would you waste a big villain like Doomsday for your second movie? Why? And when they killed Superman, I totally thought, I knew they were gonna totally do a fake out death, because I mean, Henry Cavill, I'm almost positive that he is signed on for more than just 2 movies as Superman, and of course there's the Justice League movie coming out, and all these things, and you heard rumors about a Man of Steel 2. I mean, it really made no sense to kill off Superman. I mean, Doomsday totally felt hooked in there. It was almost like a Spider-Man 3 situation where they just had Venom at the end, and it really was frustrating. I get that, I appreciate some of the ballsiness, I guess you could say, with trying to kill off Superman, but I would have rather them save that for later in the DC cinematic universe, maybe when we've had a couple more Superman movies, or movies with Superman in it, so we could build up his character a bit more and we'd actually feel something when he dies. Maybe we would have I would have appreciated more if they would have killed off Lois Lane or somebody of that significance. I thought that maybe would have happened and would have actually made me be a little bit more pleased and say, hell yeah, that is more ballsy than killing off Superman, because obviously you wouldn't do that. As well as the way the Justice League was set up, I felt like was very, very amateur. I mean, through an email, really? That's what you're gonna do? That is so fucking lame, and it really pissed me off. Yeah, I don't know if I have any more spoilers to talk about, as that's all that I have written down. But yeah, those are where most of my frustrations come from in this movie, and that is the last half of it. Okay guys, this has been your favorite critic 26 with yet another review. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you stuck around, please smack that like button as always, share it to your friends, and subscribe for more videos. I'm sorry if this movie review was a little bit choppy. Again, I've been on a 2-week hiatus, and I'm just coming back to it now, so of course things are not as smooth as they were before. Anyways, so my next review will be of the Jack Connell's 71. Fuck. See, this is what I mean by it's not going really smooth. I'm going to be reviewing 71, which was a small independent film that released last year, and it's set during World War II, I want to say, or something like that, in the 40s sometime. And yeah, so guys, I'll see you guys next time. Peace.